Hey there, Chuck with RoticBuilder.com here. This is our first hand and first game of this match, and we have only a one swamp here, so this is pretty dicey hand to keep. It's pretty scary. I feel like we do have to mulligan here, as with one land it's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, if we pull into a land next turn, we're safe, but if we don't, then we're just way behind. So we will mulligan. This is fine. We will not mulligan this hand. And hopefully we pull something really relevant here, and we do. We will throw out the Tormented Hero first turn. Seems pretty good. As we do have both Odenos River Trawler and Servant of Timerit that we can cast in 2 turns here. So it'd be even luckier if we drew into more land here to set us up for Century of the Underworld. I'm not sure what this guy's waiting for, but we will pass turn back to him now. So he has a Lightning Strike. That seems really good. That is a good draft there. And to have it in your opening hand is even better. So we'll go ahead and hide the fact that we're playing white for right now. And pass back to him. He has no play this turn, so that's pretty crazy. We do draw into our 4th land. And we will go ahead and throw out Servant of Timerit here. Does he have another Lightning Strike? Holy smokes! That's pretty sweet for him. He has a Scourge, which is one of the ones I passed up on here. Not on purpose, but hey, it is what it is. We will go ahead and throw out... Is any of these enchantment creature cards? No, it's a zombie. And that is a Tormented Hero, which neither one of those are going to get brought back by my dude. So I'm just going to throw out Insatiable Harpy here. Say go ahead. See if he's got some more removal here. We have Claim of Erebos in hand, and we have 1 black tap. Target player loses 2 life. So we'll go ahead and take the 2 here. That's fine. I am okay with that. And he has a double striking 2-headed Cerberus here, which is also fine. We have our Night Howler, which is for 4 we can cast it on our Insatiable Harpy here, which I think is what we're going to do. Which makes it a 4/4 flyer. So we're going to go back up to 22 here. And he's going to go down to 16, and we'll pass turn back to him. So he can get in for 4 this turn. And we'll just keep basically negating whatever he's doing here with these 2. But if it gets past that, then we're going to have an issue. Or not really, we'll just be losing a little bit of life every turn, but which is fine. Because at this point, unless he can get rid of this, which he very well might be able to playing red, as it does give him access to quite a bit of removal. So Borderland Minotaur is going to be pretty dicey to deal with here. And it would be nice to have the Sentry on board here, as we could trade with this Borderland Minotaur and also pump our Flyer at the same time. And Asphyxiate is going to do wonders for us here, as we are going to get rid of this Borderland Minotaur and regain back the 4 life that we lost here. Or actually, even more. We go back up to 23 this turn, and he goes down to 11 because that Borderland Minotaur actually adds to Night Howler. And he's going to remove our... No, Stone Shock Giant is fine. It's another 5/4 here. When it's monstrous, creatures without flying, your opponent's control can't block this turn. Seems alright. We have another swamp here, so we can go ahead and throw out our Sentry. We'll get in for 5 this turn. Go up to 24 again, and he is down to 6, so he has to come up with an answer for one of these two pretty quickly here. So he's going to try to draw a card here. And what's he got here? Alright, so he just conceded that one. So we are up 1 game at this point. And at this point, I feel like we are fine, other than the fact that we might bring in the other Asphodel Wanderer here. But I don't think we do. I think we just leave it as it is. I think it's got a lot of functionality the way it is. So don't want to change up too much here. This seems okay. We have 2 swamps here, so we need to find... In 2 turns here, we need to find a white source. So hopefully we can do that. And we find another black source, which isn't going to help us. It does get us a little closer to this Forlorn Sudama, but we really need a white source here to be able to cast Scholar or Heliod's Emissary. So Voyaging Satyr is going to be good for him. We have Claim of Erebos on board here. And right now we are just going to go ahead and throw out this Nyxborn Eidolon. So he's got access to 4 mana at this point, which can be pretty ugly for us. That is pretty ugly, period. That is definitely not what I want to see. Ugh. This is looking pretty nasty. So I think we just say go ahead here. Take some damage. bide our time and hope we hit our lands here. So we're off to a pretty bad start here this turn. Oh man. Lightning strike too. Wow. So there's our plains finally. And at this point, I think we do just have to cast Scholar, even though this Forlorn Sudama gives us blockers. I think Scholar has the bigger butt here, so that's going to be important as well. If we hit another land next turn, we have Lash on board. And we will see if he wants to trade here. Which I'm sure he won't, but you never know. And this just puts a +1/+1 counter on it when it untaps. That's fine. So he's going to take the 2 this turn. And really, we're not sitting too awful bad here right now, unless he's got some big combat tricks. As if nothing else next turn, I can cast this Heliod's Emissary for 3/3 and block his Ferris Band here. Another one for this 3/7, so that sucker can block all day long. And he is tapped out here, so we are going to go ahead and so he's dealing 5, 6 here to me. We do have our other planes here, so we are going to go ahead and get rid of that Ferris Band, as that thing is going to be very problematic for me. And we don't get to attack with anything this turn, unfortunately. But that was pretty scary there. And the Scourge is back. So that's pretty nasty. So he decides not to attack with anything this turn, which is good for us. It's actually really fantastic for us. And we have 6 on board here, so I think we might just do the Archetype here and give everything Death Touch. I think that seems pretty good here, which if he had a Lightning Strike, I'm screwed. But that will definitely help me out here. And I think we do just stay on defense here. Right now. let him play all his stuff out here. He's got the lightning strike. He has to. He's going to deal 3 damage to my archetype here. I feel like that's he's drawing a card here. So he's trying to find his lightning strikes is basically what this amounts to. He draws a land and throws down his Borderland Minotaur. And at this point I don't really care if he swings with anything because it's just going to die. So we will see what other things he might try to do here. And if I get a chance to here, I'm going to cast this Heliod's Emissary, but I have the Asphyxiate, so destroy target untapped creature here. Theros Band Raiders is going to go bye-bye here. As that's probably the nastiest thing that he has out there right now. Holy crap. Well, that just got ridiculous. Huh. That was probably not that great for me. So we're going to go ahead and drain for 1 here. And hold off on our attacking for right now. So he's going to swing in with both here. And I'm going to go ahead and block the Scourge, even though it has Trample. So he's going to get through for 7. But it is going to die. Or actually, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, never mind. You got in for everything there. I should have attacked or death touched with the Borderland here. So yeah, that was not very smart on my part. And I should have gotten rid of the Scourge, but I didn't, so unfortunately that kind of stunk. But maybe I go for these Blood Toll Harpies here. And I still think I just stick with what I have here. I still think that's just the way to go. Yes, we will play first. Got God's Willing in hand, 4 land and Heliod's Emissary, so no, we won't mulligan here. Start off with the plains. See what we're up against here. Doesn't have a first turn play either. We have Sip in hand now. We're a ways away from casting that. Nothing this turn either. We have Insatiable Harpy on board for next turn. And I'm going to go ahead and save my God's Willing for my Scholar here. I'm not going to go... I suppose we can throw out Scholar because we don't have to worry about Lightning Strike with Scholar. And that gives us an activation of it next turn. So we'll see what he comes up with here. The Scourge. Do not like Scourge. That guy is trouble. So we will get rid of that now, as that can become pretty dangerous. Play our plains here. Get in here for 1. say go ahead. Staunch-hearted warrior, so he can target that guy to put a bunch of counters on it. Servant seems pretty good this turn. Go ahead and get that guy out there. Not much point in attacking this turn. Satyr Wayfinder is going to dump a bunch of stuff in the graveyard for him. So that's pretty good for me, really. But he gets his other mountain here. So I can double block here if he attacks. But he's probably going to cast something heroic here. Just Spear Point Oriad, which is not that threatening. It's a 2/2 with first strike. We get a swamp here. And we are one away from sipping here if we needed to. And he can double block here, so I don't feel like it's a good idea to... But I can go ahead and take out his Satyr Wayfinder. And I can regen the Servant here if he decides to double block. So he's going to block there. Is he going to double block, though? He chooses not to. Maybe he does choose to. He's just going to do the Spear Points? What is he doing here? Alright, that's fine. So I'm going to get a scry out of this. We will choose green. We'll put that on top. That's fine. So we know we have Sip on board next turn here. Or we have Heliod's Emissary that... Or, no, we're still one away from that. So hopefully he doesn't hit a lightning strike or something here for my Harpy, as that's going to be pretty important. He has a Xenagos, though. So that's pretty crazy. So I don't think there's any way he can kill me with that this turn. Unless he has like a Titan strength. So we'll see if he has that. I would hate to just fall straight into that trap, but it happens. So he loses one, I gain one here. And we can sip off something here. And we'll make him lose 2 life. And the Staunch-Hearted Warrior, I think, is probably the worst threat at this point, as he can just get off anything on that thing, and it becomes really dangerous for us. So at this point, I think we just attack with everything here. So we're going to be taking 4 on the backswing here, but we gained 2, so I feel like we're still in pretty safe territory. And we're going to get 1 back from Servant, so... So, does this thing give it haste as well? Yeah, it does. So that's going to really hurt. And as we've already burned through some of our removal here, wow, that's going to be 10 damage. 11, 12, 13 that we're taking this turn. So that is really going to hurt. I'd really like to have that regen guy right now so I could just throw him in front of the stone chalk. So yeah, he's going to swing with everything here, because why wouldn't you? Yikes. Because that puts me down to a 6 here. Gain 1 to go back up to 7. He's down to an 11. The plains is good because it allows me to bestow, which is going to put this guy... Now, is it plus X plus X? Yeah, it is. What does that put me at as far as putting it on the life linker? That gains me 5, which puts me up to a 12. And then I can throw the servant in front of... Because it doesn't have trample, does it? Does it give it trample? Just gains haste. So I can leave servant back and just attack with this, go up to 12. So he can do 10, or he can only do 3 that way. So I think that's about the only way I'm gonna really survive this here. Since he's already all tapped out, that doesn't really do much here. So I'm just going to attack with these 2. Get him down to a 5. And we'll tap that, but it doesn't really matter because he's already tapped. So hopefully he doesn't have another huge creature that he can throw down next turn and just get me. Maybe I should have kept the Scholar back. I don't really know here what he's got. Borderland's going to be able to do 8, 9, 10, 11 to me here. And Xenagos is active. No way. Wow. There's no way I come out of this at this point. I completely forgot that if he casted a double casting cost thing here. So is there any way I survive this? Any way at all? So if I block this, then I take 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, there's no way I can come out of this. I had to have left Scholar back so I could block Xenagos in order to... Man! It's what you get for getting greedy. That is what you get for getting greedy. That stinks. So we go on to game 2 here. Thanks for watching, guys.